Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may happen to be. Welcome back to Speed Gaming. I'm August 40th, joined today by Trenton, and we are going to be hosting the Mario Maker 2 weekly races for y'all. This week we have some returning racers, some familiar faces. We have Chaos Legion in the top left, Zero Planes bottom left, Owlglass in the top right, and as soon as Discord stops interfering with my screen, I can see Dobbs in the bottom right. And yeah, we'll be getting going in just a few. Racers are downloading levels. It looks like actually they have the levels downloaded, but waiting for the countdown. Just waiting for everything to catch up, and we will be on our way.
Yeah, we'll see them off soon. They get 5 levels in advance. These are levels they have not run, so they're blind to them. First one to complete is the winner of round 1, and your finish in round 1 is your score. It gets combined with the other 2 rounds. Best score wins.
Yep. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask in chat. We do have 3 rounds, as my co-com Trenton alluded to. Round 1, they'll be running through them blind, just trying to be the first place finisher. Round 2, they will try to optimize these levels, get the very fastest time, trying to beat that world record. And then for the third and final phase, we will be doing an endless expert run. Most clears in that round wins, and that is the heaviest weighted round of all these.
Looks like we're starting with a nice little SMB 3 level, and we got to go backwards, just run it against the wind.
Interesting. Okay. So right to left.
Looks like this is a level that's going to change once we do something, presumably an on-off switch.
Yep. Chaos Legion up at the top left. Managed to already hit that. Let's see if that makes it a little bit easier for him.
Got a Lakitu cloud up there, which of course means it's something we could steal. All this way to get to a checkpoint. And what does the pipe give us?
Ooh, underwater.
Section. So if you had held up there, which now Owlglass knows, you'd be a little bit better off, but to do that with a POW in hand is going to make swimming better.
Yeah, always pays off to grab what you can. You never know when it might come in handy.
And
POW, a shot.
Big difference there. Chaos Legion went in there with a leaf as well, so it had the damage boost, and was the only one who retained the POW through there after taking damage to the fire bars.
But all 4 of our runners have made it to that checkpoint, swimming through this level, but Chaos Legion is going to take first place.
That looks like a pretty comfortable first place, at least of our on-stream, and all came down to having that damage boost, so a little exploration, checking one of those blocks, paid off in a big way.
Yeah, moving on to Super Mario World, but Dobbs close behind. And Owlglass, too, seconds behind him.
Yeah, Dobbs has been so good at this, and Owlglass definitely a veteran of these. Zero Plane's newer to doing these in the weekly format, but certainly was a presence at SG Live not long ago. Now, how do we get this key? Just wait for the... Okay, we gotta stop this shell.
Stop it with a helmet.
Nice. And it's a time limit thing, because if you miss it 3 times, it's gonna flip the coins.
And this is a sports mix in case those coins, or those letters spelled out in coins, haven't clued you in. They are currently doing the NBA challenge.
Yeah, it's a similar concept to one we saw I saw on a Super Mario Bros. 1 level, but reimagined for Mario Bros. 2, and of course, different creator.
Yeah, very nifty theme here. It looks like Dobbs is at the halftime show.
Doing the PGA. Trying to get that par 3, or however you want to call it.
Chaos Legion has moved on to FIFA. Oh, and looks like more like foosball, if you ask me.
Big difference to have those helmets. NHL, we better have a fight breakout or this isn't going to be authentic.
A little throwback to the bonus game in Super Mario Brothers 3.
It's always interesting to see what somebody can do, starting with the idea of a theme. It's just, okay, I want to make this, and then how do I make rooms that fit this theme? And that leads to often some of the most creative stuff you see in Mario Maker.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, everybody gets the same pieces, but there's literally an infinite amount of ways that you can rearrange them.
Gas Legion's made that head start pay off and is the first to clear level 2.
Looks like Owlglass is next in line, at least furthest in progression at this point. And we're moving on to Piranha Platformer up top and left. Ooh.
Gotta really control those spin jumps there.
This isn't going to be an interesting one.
This
Gotta
is
time it
definitely a test of
just
your
right.
precision.
Whoa, if it gets.
You have to jump off a blooper shot off of a moving cannon. And how do you get in that pipe, actually?
My guess is there's going to be a platform up above that you ride down.
It could be another falling cannon.
Well, Owlglass has made it through his sports challenge. Moving on to the Piranha platforms.
Zero planes up to the FIFA checkpoint. While Dobbs working through the NFL section, running through the tackles. And Dobbs finishes. So looks like that might be a vertical section where you got to do a good bit of climbing, then come all the way back to that pipe.
Yep, vertical levels are some of my favorite levels here in Mario Maker 2.
Seeing Hourglass on that section, it makes me think the play might be let a couple of the red spike tops come out before you make that and try and go on the second cycle of the piranhas instead of the first.
Yeah. Does seem like there is a way to one-shot it, though.
Okay, there's our platform. Chaos Legion got into the pipe first try, and there's our second checkpoint of the level. So it looks like this is a case of it's not a long level, it's just going to get its length from how challenging each section is. You're probably going to have to do it a few times. As Zero Planes gets past the sports level.
Yep, it seems like this Piranha platforming level is one of those levels where you make a little bit of progress and then go back. Make a little bit of more progress and then start back.
This is one of those classic cases of when you're building this level, you have to make sure all of these pieces line up in the right place. You're ricocheting a shell, it's got to land in the right place for you to get there, but it does, and Chaos Legion has completed this level.
Yep, meanwhile, Owlglass and Dobbs have made it to that first checkpoint, climbing the tower. Seem to have a little bit an easier time, at least on that first trick, than Chaos Legion did. But speaking of Chaos Legion, now moving on, is this 3D Mario?
Yeah, our first 3D level of the day. We got a red coin level with 5 red coins. We just found the first. A few boos running around, keeping this level nice and spooky. There's a checkpoint after red coin number 2.
I don't mind red coin levels as long as they're the type that gives you that checkpoint after each get.
Yeah, this is one that looks like he paced the red coins, so it's a little bit different take than that. But still one that lets you save your progress.
Yep, threading that needle with those boos.
I see all these power-ups that are in the wall. Usually that would be a suggestion that that power-up is available through whatever door that may be.
And my guess is they're kind of just indicators, so you know. All right, I got the one underneath the mushroom. I got the one with the cat bell. Just kind of distinguish some of the different rooms, just for the the optimization round.
Looks like Dobbs was considering some one-up farming, but you don't need that in this mode.
No siree, you got as many lives as you need. Only caveat is that what is it, 15 or 20 minutes for this first round?
No time limit on the first round.
Oh, okay. Well, eventually, we will all need to go to sleep.
That's true, but they would probably decide by then that they needed sleep too.
Yeah, luckily we show mercy. We're not giving them super expert levels. We want to make it challenging, but not impossible.
At this Super Mario World level that we've got Hourglass and Zero Planes on, this would rank as one of the hardest we've seen on the weekly. Although it lines up very well, there's a lot of precision involved with this.
Well, hopefully as these racers keep getting better and better, the difficulty curve will increase as well.
Chaos Legion's got the coin, or the key, from getting the coins. That's what I was trying to say.
You know, maybe it's just a key-shaped coin. Did you ever think of like those coin-shaped chocolates?
Yeah, maybe.
Made it through the key door. And one skip, two skip, and we got the top of the flagpole.
Yep, so Hourglass and Dobbs working on the 3D world level. Zero Planes still working through the SMW level.
But Chaos Legion in a definite lead.
Has held that advantage since the first level. Got off to a good start and keeping it going. And
Oh, wow.
Dobbs gets the flagpole too.
Yeah, making up tons of time, as GFE in chat pointing out.
So this level, Super Mario World, and kind of a familiar theme. I say that, and I'm saying that because I'm pretty sure I've actually played this level. So you have to work the wigglers here. You need this P-switch, and then you got to get back quickly.
Working the wigglers, huh?
Yeah, they don't like to cooperate very well. So, I mean, basically, you need a running start after this P-switch to get back in time, or that's an even better way to go, if you can get it with you.
Sometimes the most creative strat is the quickest.
Yeah, it might be intended to, and of course Dobbs is just a better player than I am, and I have no shame in saying that, because Dobbs is pretty good at this. So Wigglers are a very excellent springboard platform. Zero's still trying to find the timing on these jumps.
I've seen him get up to the POW a couple times, but unfortunately, the P-switch timer not working out for him.
Doesn't look like that works out as an alternate path, but maybe it gives you a chance to reset. Yeah, don't forget to vote for your favorite levels if you're here live in chat, or if you're watching us later, you can come by and chat on race days and vote for your favorite levels.
Your favorite
The
levels
best creators
or
do get awarded a prize.
yeah, favorite levels or your favorite level creator. You don't necessarily have to be honest. You could just give your buddy a vote.
Everybody wants to earn it. So we got a Yoshi picking up a POW, and the question is where we take it.
Well, without useful arms, he's not going to be carrying it. At least not with the arms.
Carries it with the tongue. He's Yoshi. That's what he does.
If like those Rugrats in those diapers, Yoshi's got alternate methods of transportation. He is an alternate method of transportation. Oh, but Chaos loses the Yoshi. That's
We
not
didn't have
gonna
a
work.
checkpoint after that, so he's going to have to redo that. So if you're seeing this and thinking, hey, I could make a level this good, please do, because we're always looking for more level submissions to use as part of these weeklies.
Yeah.
One of the things we do is we want this first part to be blind to runners, and that requires having more than just the 5 levels available. We have to have backups available. So this one actually was a backup because the original 5th level had been played by one of the runners. So we want everybody able to compete fairly. Thus, we needed a backup.
Now, wouldn't it be something if on one of these weekly races, when they get to round 3, they happen to find some of the levels from rounds 1 and 2?
That would be pretty spectacular odds, but I thought you were going to say find a level they had played before, and that's far more likely.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we do enough of these weeklies that first scenario will happen eventually. Or be even funny if it was like a version 1 of one of the levels, because they do get tested, they do get vetted, and they get reworked if need be. So even if you don't want to make levels, you can join the Discord and become a level tester.
So it looks like Dobbs ended up dying right before the checkpoint that last time.
Zero Planes has made it to the final section of this ice level, but is a whole good level and a half behind at this point.
Looks like we need another P-switch. Where is our P-switch? That's not a P-switch at all. Oh, we can use the big guy's shell to clear things out. That's exactly what Dobbs does. And Zero Plane's got the clear.
And that big shell was guarding a P-switch. Look at that.
It's interesting. This is kind of a mirrored challenge, if you will. You come down into the subworld and you see a similar problem, but with a different solution.
Yeah,
So
I think the worlds are just mirrored, right?
P-switch.
Yeah, this is a very creative level. Shoutouts to this level creator.
This would be GFE, who's been very involved in these weeklies. You'll see GFE's name attached to a few of these world records along the way. Just a few. Oh, Dabs killed the big shell. That's not going to work.
Well, Chaos Legion is making progress. Finds the Shelmet.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Alright, onward.
Onward and upward.
Yeah, so the idea is always to give players challenging platforming, but not Kaizo tricks. So it's challenging, but approachable challenging. Right, what do we got? Chaos Legion's got the goal is what we got.
Yes, sir. That's that. Moving on to round 2. Looks like Owlglass and Dobbs not too far behind. Zero Planes making their way through the Haunted Mansion.
Already got the key, I think, has made very good progress through here. Oh boy,
Yeah.
this is a challenge. Okay, it was on a P-switch timer.
Dobbs making his way, almost done here. On to the final section. If he can spin jump up
Trying
to
to
that
get
pipe.
that pipe to give him another shell, but it just wasn't giving up the goods. He's trying to stand under it, have it drop on his head, and it just would not cooperate.
Oh, and Owlglass bonks his head on that ceiling and finds the hole to his death. But there we go, Zero Planes finished with the 3D World Challenge. Moving on.
Made great time through that level.
Yeah, saved tons of time over the other racers.
So far, Chaos Legion, the only one done through phase 1. With Fireflower in hand, how does this run go?
Well, I got rid of the fire guys.
Ah, so right there where Dobbs is, I think I would have tried, so he hit the P switch. But I think I would have tried to stay on that donut as long as I could.
Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do there, GFE?
Yeah, I think we're picking up
Like, oh, I
sound
go in
from
the
one of the
pipe, yeah.
runners, and we need to switch it over to somebody else.
Yep, asking for some advice from the level creator. Of course, asking rhetorical questions.
Well, sometimes it helps to think about these out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the life of a streamer, thinking out loud. Oh, Dobbs is P-switch in hand, climbing up, up, up.
GFE, our level maker, says, I enjoy watching his suffering. We were former roommates.
Uh-oh.
Alright, Owlglass has the P-switch.
Yeah, so Dobbs should just chill out on that donut and... Oh, never mind, just pops those piranha with some fire flowers.
Dobbs has not gotten past this section yet. That time he gets in the pipe. And has his shelmet. And loses his shelmet.
Oh, and maybe... Is that some cheese?
I don't think so. I think you actually need the Shelmet later. Well, more than anything, you need the damage boost, so theoretically you could do it on the Fire Flower and not need the Shelmet if that's all it is. Might be a case of the cheese is harder than the intended route.
No, yep, that happens very often.
And Dobbs through, our second finisher of this level. And of
Zero-
part 1.
Yeah, Zero Planes has made up a good deal of time getting hung up on that ice level. But Hourglass is moving on, is on the second section already and has a good deal of time so far in this level. Let's see who can pull out third place.
Of our runners, I would say Zero Planes probably does the most expert levels in Mario Maker. But sometimes you just get one that's out of your skill set, and it takes a little longer. Somebody who's more comfortable with that particular skill set gets past it faster.
Yeah, but very, very awesome platforming from Zero Planes. Threading enemies left and right, making some real close calls. And still in it, you know, Hourglass is not yet finished.
Chad asking why they don't go in the pipe. I don't know which pipe you mean, first of all, because there's a bunch of pipes.
I think he means
But-
the one by that Thwomp section.
The one underneath the Thwomps?
Yeah, it seems like they don't go in it right away. Or maybe he's talking about some bait. So a pipe that looks like cheese, but in the end, not really cheese.
Arrows don't go in front of the background. That's interesting, no? So apparently the maker tried to put an arrow pointing to that pipe, but couldn't.
Whoopsie!
So Hourglass is doing a little bit defensive there, waited up above the one-way for the P-switch timer to run out.
Yeah, that was the strat I had mentioned earlier. Because otherwise, you're sitting down below, having to dodge those fireballs, waiting for that switch to run off.
Yeah, so I think what's catching these runners is, at first glance, they're reading, okay, Shelmet came out of pipe, so I must have to wait for a Shelmet to come out of the pipe instead of going up into the pipe.
Yeah, Shelmet is there to give you a boost.
And that's just sometimes what happens. You're seeing one thing while the level maker was thinking something else, and you've got to catch up and get on the same wavelength as them.
Yeah, when the level maker says potato, you better switch your potatoes to potatoes.
Right? Hourglass has the Fire Flower again. But we've got Germ Dove in here now. On the same level.
Yep, same level, same place.
The thing is, you're inevitably going to try something different when your first plan's not working.
Hopefully. Otherwise, I think Benjamin Franklin might call you a fool.
The other thing I notice in playing myself is sometimes my definition of flipped or mirrored isn't necessarily the same as the creator's definition of flipped. So to them, what made perfect sense is not what I was looking for, and thus I get confused. And I'm saying that me, not the level makers. So sometimes it's just a matter of perspective is throwing you off.
I think Zero Planes has figured out the solution to this first section here. Maybe not.
Hourglass is back here with a fire flower this time, gets up in the pipe. This is the right way. And now
Now
you gotta go
Zero
up.
Planes. Now Zero Planes knows where to go, I think. Use that POW in the wrong spot.
Hourglass has had a little trouble figuring out this section. Hopefully has it now. There we go. Question in chat, is GermDove replaying? No, this is GermDove's playthrough, just not running a timer on this part. The timer is there for the other parts.
We also had Dobbs down there earlier, which might lead to some confusion.
GermDove, though, first tried that part. So solved the answer faster than most runners did. Solved the answer, solved the problem, found the answer, and Hourglass finds the goalpost.
Gotta get that classic SMW sound in there.
Hourglass finished third behind Dobbs.
And looks like GermDove is right there behind him.
Got it. So that leaves Zero Planes as the last one on this level. And again, got held up a ton on the earlier SMW ice level. So actually has closed the gap for this part. And it's going to get the checkpoint there, so that works out. I appreciate the effort. He was trying to get the jump boost off of the Koopaling. Is it still a Koopaling when they're giant-sized? I don't know.
That is a very good question.
The world may never know.
It's like the big giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. If that giant has a baby, is that a baby giant?
Or a giant baby. But we have seen all of 5 levels now. If you want to vote for your favorite, the link is in the chat. You've got till the end of the broadcast to get your votes in there.
Well, the winner, the winning level creator will receive $20.
What do you think's leader in the clubhouse?
I beg your pardon?
What do you think what is your guess for the fan favorite?
Oh, I have no idea about the mob. But my personal favorite is probably that Piranha Platformer level.
I think Sports Mix is going to take it down this week if I had to guess what chat's thinking. That was a fun theme.
That was a pretty good theme, I gotta agree.
We also had a little bit of spookiness going on with the 3D Ghost House level. Zero's got a mushroom here for a damage boost. Excuse me for just one moment.
Yep, not a problem. Yep, Germ Dove, you were not on Restream during that Piranha Plant Plateau. So if you were a little sloppy there, we'll have to tune into your personal VOD to check that. And with that said, make sure you go follow these racers. Without these racers racing these races, we wouldn't have these races to watch being raced by these racers.
Who race? I don't know. I just had to throw something in there. I felt like. Alright. Zero Plane's back here gonna get the Fire Flower this time for the extra damage boost. Damage boosts are good. Especially when you don't need them. Fortunately, he had just enough time to get through there before the P-switch ran out. He did attempt to get in the pipe, but he only tried it once. Okay, trying for some more momentum.
And unfortunately, he killed that shell. I'm pretty sure you need it. You need that boost. Oh, never mind.
No, the boost was designed to make it easier and not required. GFE said that earlier. Now you gotta go up. Kind of got the one-way gate pointing in the right direction, so you've got the arrows saying up.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Might have if he could have put on the Shelmet. If you put on the Shelmet, you would have had enough time to spin jump. But unfortunately, can't reset that room.
Well, it sort of resets itself because the thwomps go up, so you can only stand under a saw. And, I think that's a case, as GFE was saying earlier, of he couldn't put an arrow there because it was going behind the background instead of above it, so it ended up not displaying arrows when he tried.
Hey, you can always draw an arrow with coins or something else.
I had one level I did that for. At the very end, it was just a giant coin arrow pointing at the goal, and it was the only arrow I put in the whole thing.
In case someone didn't already know, oh, this is where you need to go.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure they understood. Alright, Zero Plane's back here with the Fire Flower. Got time having
Spoke
killed
too
off the
soon.
piranhas. And got up through the pipe, so got the Shelmet. I just realized you gotta go up. He's got it this time.
It needs to play more Zelda 1 and learn how to go up the mountain.
I don't know, I was kind of thinking this was more Metroid-ish with the back and forth.
Playstyle, definitely.
Maybe you just need to do the Z1M1 combo. Get it all.
Yep. Speaking of combo, we do have Zelda 3 Metroid, or Super Metroid randomizer over on Speed Gaming in a couple hours. Part of the Super Stars Marathon.
And there's the clear for Zero Planes.
Woohoo! Ow! We'll be taking a short breather. Let these racers cool off. More than not Zero Planes before they get to grinding. And And so we'll be moving on to round two. Round two, they will be playing the same levels, but for each level, they'll have 15 minutes to optimize it as best they can. Other than that, yeah, sit back and maybe take some more of these levels in if you haven't voted already. I know some are eager to get that vote in. Others want to absorb the levels before they vote.
Just working things in the background to make sure we get everybody the right levels.
Yep. That is important.
All right, so phase 2, we're going to see 3 of our levels from part 1 return, and our runners will have 15 minutes to optimize their time as best they can for each of those.
Each level counts as a separate score. So just because you don't get the victory in level 1, you should still do your best for the other levels because
they're averaged. Your finish is averaged across the round, so you can be first on the level 1, third on level 2, and second on level 3. Your score will be a 2.
Sounds fair to me.
It's more confusing to say than it is to score. This is why we have a spreadsheet to do it all for us. But yeah, it'll be averaged. They have 15 minutes for each level to get the best time that they can. And this is the part that you hear a lot of runners say they like the most.
I mean, as a viewer, I gotta say this is my favorite part of the weekly races. And of course, a reminder: if you'd like to get involved in any aspect of the weekly here, looking for level creators, level testers, commentary, track and crew, join the Discord, ping an admin, and see how you can get involved. Always looking for more helping hands.
So Chad, anyone in the lobby about what your favorite level was so far? Lobby others, see if they'll join you on voting for it.
Tell your friends, tell your family. Grab your grandma's iPhone, download Twitch.
She'll never know what it is.
Or maybe you'll create a new lifelong fan.
And if she has Amazon Prime, you could use it to sub to Speed Gaming for free. Get the cool emotes. First level is going to be Right to Left by Token Streamer.
Oh, this was a good one. Super Mario Brothers 3. Our racers are readying up behind the scenes, waiting on that countdown.
Yeah, so this one was SMB3 style. And you've had to go back to the pipe at the start to be able to make progress. We saw, I believe it was Chaos Legion, dominated that the first time through by keeping the POW through the water section and having the power up to take the damage boost. So I think he's already got a pretty good idea what the speed strats are going to be on this level. We'll see if anybody else picks up on them.
Yeah, I'd nearly forgotten about that water section. That will be that's always a tricky one to optimize.
The thing about going through these levels as fast as you can is the first thing you see runners try and skip is the power-ups. Well, in this case, I think the power-ups are actually going to be worth it for getting the damage boost through the fire bars.
Yep, I'm sure the runners have a number of different strats they have in mind, and when one doesn't work out, switch to another one.
Yes, usually up front, you'll see people explore. They're trying to see if there's something in this level they didn't catch the first time that they can use to make things faster.
Chaos
Right
Legion, though.
now, I'm not sure how many people have seen the power-ups, although Owlglass has found one.
Chaos Legion, no, skipping the power-ups, going straight for that POW.
The fire bar timers being what they are, it's possible you'll see them in a different place. The advantage of the damage boost strats are going to be that you don't need to worry about where they are. But if you get in there as fast as you can and find out, oh, hey, they're in a better spot for me, then that just makes it faster. But Owlglass is through the fire bars up to the... I call those jellyfish? I don't know.
The bloopers?
No, the ones that shock you if you touch them.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely jellies.
Alright, Owlglass is going to be the first one to do a finish in this round. The Zero Planes just found the leaf, and that's what I think is going to be pretty key to the strats. Either you get that or the mushroom.
So Owlglass with a 48, and Germdove right behind with a 40 new world record.
When you've got people all doing this same level, you're going to see that world record change hands a few times, typically. So obviously one of the speedrun strats they're already doing is they're not picking up the checkpoint.
Yeah, there might be a level on these weeklies, one week or the other, where maybe it makes sense to get a checkpoint in the second round, but probably not.
We had one at least where it was a red coin level, so there was a certain amount of sense in picking it up in your earlier runs to make sure you got a couple completions in, and then after that, just for time purposes, it wasn't. There was another one, actually, I recall, it was a power-up. You got like a mushroom for hitting it, and you needed that damage boost later anyways, so it was faster to hit the checkpoint for the power-up than it was to hit a question block for a power-up. Alright, Chaos Legion's gotta finish. GFE saying, get ready for some frame fighting in the first optimization level. Yeah, this is one I think is going to be really, really tight when it's all said and done.
Yeah, the water section isn't too terrible. And as soon as it's over, you got that done.
Zero Planes just got his first finish of this section. Sees that world record is down to 40 seconds.
Yep, these racers are aware of what their opponents are posting.
Yeah, that's noteworthy. These times are posted in the Discord by the runners when they put up a new PB, so you can see not only what the world record is, because that's displaying in-game, but you can kind of see where you are.
Luckily, this isn't too long of a level, under a minute. These racers getting it close to sub 30. Or sub 40, rather. So they have plenty of attempts left.
This actually makes me wonder if your load time through a pipe is any different if you're carrying a POW versus not, as Chaos Legion puts up a new world record. Shaves a few tenths off what it was before.
Yeah, you know, that's an interesting thought. It wouldn't surprise me if holding something alters the pipe speed.
In which case, all you'd have to do is drop it before you go down the pipe, because it absolutely improves your swimming.
Maybe someone behind the scenes can check that out. And then, of course, you always have to double check if it works out on X equals 9. Because the game does some interesting stuff on the 9th position on the X-axis.
Looks like a smooth path through the little maze section for Chaos Legion, back through the pipe. This, I think, is going to be a very good run. Let's see how it times out. That looked really smooth. Yep, that was pretty smooth. Got down to a 38.5. Zero, that section felt pretty slow going against the wind, but here's where you should make up the time, just charging right through. He already charged through a fire bar and a fish he didn't have to wait for. That's probably the best water section we've seen.
Yeah, very quick.
And a new record for Hourglass. Takes it down to, I believe, a 36? Zero took his down to a 40. That's a significant improvement from before.
Looks like Hourglass got the time of 38.447.
Okay, I was seriously wondering how he got that down to a 36. I think maybe a 37, maybe a high 36 is possible. But by this point, I think we've seen pretty close to what we're going to see, and it's going to be like tenths at this point.
Yeah, looks like Zero Planes going for that leaf. Hopefully use that damage boost to save a couple frames.
The trouble with a leaf, and you see that in the actual speedrun for Super Mario Bros. 3, they'll lose the leaf as quickly as possible because it jumps slower. The flutter down with the tail actually makes your falling slower, so in a level where you don't want that, it messes you up. .41, that was a little slower. It might be that the tail is a little slower on the overworld.
Chaos Legion world record once again below 38, 38.029.
As Gerbdove ends up taking a death to the fish. What I haven't seen anybody do yet is the mushroom damage boost. Someone was picking up the mushroom earlier, they're not doing it anymore. You definitely don't want to kill the Goombas in this level. That's just going to be time loss. You want as little contact with enemies and blocks as you can get. If you aren't picking up that leaf, just hitting that block is probably costing you time, except it would knock you down. But if you could short the jump, that'd be even better.
Oh, and it looks like off stream, and I guess it might be a little ahead of where these racers are, but off stream Dobbs got a 37.977.
From what we've seen, that sounds like a really, really competitive time. I'm not sure you can get down to a 37.5 on this level. Again, it's a big difference between Mario Maker levels in the wild, where world records are something you can usually pick up because people have only played the level once. But when somebody is actively going for a world record on the level, after a few times of lowering that record, you've probably seen about where it's going to be.
Yep, especially after a couple of racers trade it back and forth.
I mean, on stream, we've probably seen over 50 attempts on this level now. That's a lot of attempts.
But off stream, Dobbs chipping away. Got a 37.02.
Well, thanks for making a lighter out of me that fast, Dobbs. No, that's a
Chipping away.
37.9. 37.92, not 02.
Oh. Yeah, kind of a big difference.
Well, I mean, half a second, it's not that big, but it's big in the world of speedrunning.
Oh, but there's another one from Chaos Legion, 37.7.
So right now it looks like everyone has abandoned any sort of damage boost strat. They're just trying to time these fire bars and they think that's faster.
Yeah, fire bars, cheaps. Oh, Germdove trying to thread that needle.
Sometimes you thread the needle, sometimes the needle threads you.
Very, very true.
Mario Brothers 3 is always interesting in that it's the game that is probably least reflective of the original game in Mario Maker. Although SMB1 is contending for that with some of the changes in Mario Maker 2, but like you don't have a lot of the power-ups, and a bunch of the physics are different. Like in Mario Brothers 3, you want P-speed as much as possible because you run faster. In Mario Maker, there's no difference to your running speed, it just enables you to fly.
And of course, triggers that lovely sound effect.
Well, yes. Which makes you feel like you're going fast. It's like putting flames on a car.
There
It
you
just
go.
feels faster.
Or the playing card in the bicycle spoke.
Now that's just to make it sound cool. That's not speed. Painting
But,
the bike, though.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed that we don't have the frog suit, the Tanuki costume. I think the Tanuki would be pretty easy for them to add because the dry bone mechanic where you can kind of play possum, it's very similar to the Tanuki statue.
Chaos Legion with another record. I mean, the frog suit, all you gotta do is give it the graphics and then give it the same physics behavior as if you're holding an item like this. It basically is the frog suit, at least underwater.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Alright, another clear for Zero Planes. These short levels, they lend themselves to a lot of attempts.
Yeah, we're coming down to the wire. These runners have just a minute left.
And they're allowed to finish the run that they start, so this will probably be last attempt for everyone. Or if you want to give your hand a break, you could always just say, I'm satisfied with my time, and take the extra minute.
Yeah, I would. It would be kind of funny to see a racer. Maybe they've got some, bowls of ice water, some heating pads set up.
I don't know about that. Actually, we had a couple of the runners doing warm-up stuff, like playing expert before they started here. Zero Planes has the fish fighting back. I think it's got enough time to get another round
Maybe
started.
they maybe they would resort to such strategies if they were playing for some money. Like they were at the Speed Gaming Live event.
That is Hourglass being off of the world record by just 0.2.
That's gotta feel bad.
And the fish are gonna finish off Zero Planes run, so that should be everybody now.
Yep, Hourglass posting a final time of 37.644. Chaos Legion with a final time of 37.610. Germ Dove with a final time of 38.662. Zero Planes with a final time of 38.810. And Dobbs taking it with a 37.560. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see the most optimum run there, Dobbs being off stream, but just, what is that, 0.05 seconds behind Chaos Legion.
I mean, I think it was probably pretty similar strats. If anything, he probably just had the jump side optimized just a little bit more.
Yep, that is not much difference right there. As Speed Gaming Bot is informing you, this is a 3-part event. We are in the middle of round 2, the optimization round, where these racers are trying to get these levels down as quickly as possible. They're done with the first of those 3 levels. We're moving on to level 2 of that round. And that will be the Super Mario World style, the Mario Sports Mix level.
Things that's fascinated me in seeing this, the weeklies play out is, I don't have the exact statistics, but I think it's between Mario 1 and 3 that are the favored styles of the level makers, which would be a little bit bucking the trend of overall for Super Mario Maker.
Yep, Mario Maker 1, it definitely seemed the Super Mario World was the most popular theme.
Well, people love to go with the new stuff and see what they can do. And then they all make their snake blocks work identical to the others.
Oh, Snake Blocks. Worst edition ever.
I can only blame
At
the
least
level
the
creators
green
so
one.
much when Nintendo does it the same way on their end. So, runners, getting a small break before this. That again about the snake blocks. Chad asked me to say that. So I did. Because I'm a nice guy. Let's see. What was I looking for? As they stand, we would actually have a tie between Dobbs and Chaos Legion. Because one was first place in Part 1 Chaos Legion, and then he had the second best time in Part 2 so far. Flip-flop with Dobbs.
Game on.
That will get another 15 minutes for optimizing level 2. You know, I'll say this, I kind of had a special place in my heart for how we used to do Part 2, where you had one bank of time to optimize all the levels for, and you had to figure out how to budget it.
That's interesting. It looks like our racers are readying up. Which sport do you think will give these racers the biggest challenge?
I think it was the golf shots. You had those two where you had to slide it in just right, so they have to find their marks. And it'll be incredibly consistent once you find where your setup is to hit that shot. But I think finding the shot in the first place is going to be what challenges them. I wouldn't even be surprised to see somebody just stop and figure out how they want to do a challenge optimally before they move on.
It looks like the current world record holder would agree with you. I guess both of you guys are fans of the George Carlin bit regarding golf, which I cannot repeat on stream.
Thank you for the self-censorship there. Or restraint. Not censorship, restraint.
Maturity.
I mean, I associate golf more with Rodney Dangerfield. No respect.
No respect at all. You kidding me?
And who doesn't love a good Caddyshack reference?
And if you don't, get out of here. Just kidding. Invite your friends, invite your family to the Super Mario Maker 2 Discord. Get involved. We need levels, we need testers, we need crew, we need racers.
And
The
we need
more,
viewers,
the
oh
merrier.
my.
Well, with awesome hype races, eventually viewers will come. If you race it, they'll come.
Alright, so they have our next level. They're readying up, and we will see them off and at it soon. Here we go.
Let's get it on.
So this first run through, I think, is going to be more of an experimentation of seeing how you want to line up your stuff to do this. It looks like Zero Planes is going to experiment with bringing a shell through in the first place instead of waiting on a new one. That actually makes a lot of sense because the spawn times are going to be slower. It looks like the NBA is holding him up a little bit here. Those Goombas, they post up well on defense. But I'm pretty sure they got more than 5 players on the court. That ought to be a penalty.
Yeah, where is the referee?
Rest Jay and just let him play. Alright, here's PGA, and you gotta do 2 shots here. So again, you're gonna have to find the timing. Not timing in this case, but the position of where exactly you want to launch that from.
Yeah, the pixel. Or maybe there's a handful of pixels that work really well.
I tell you, the strat I'm going to be fascinated to see is if anybody starts going damage boost strats. Like there, you can get to that key, sacrificing the Shelmet and just going through. So I think that's where we're going to really see a difference, at least in experimentation at some point.
It looks like Chaos Legion got to the halftime show and says, yeah, I'm going to restart.
Well, the thing about going through a pipe is it makes the P-switch timer go slower. So there's a delay in that where the P-switch timer only advances by like hundredths to tenths. So even on a 3-second animation and the music is playing, your actual P-switch timer isn't going as fast. Hopefully I explained that semi-coherently.
Made sense to me. As long as there's not going to be a test later.
Absolutely not, because that would mean doing math while live on Twitch, and that always betrays you. Alright, Germ Dove, the first on stream to clear it.
About a minute and a half. So you got less time to get, or you got fewer runs to get in this round.
There's our first example of a damage boost optimization. Hourglass skips the first shot. Just damage boosts over the Munchers, replaces his Shelmet. Or actually, he carried the replacement Shelmet and used that to get the key.
Zero Planes doing it on the soccer. Getting past that Bowser Jr. Did I jinx it? Oh no.
No, just a little pause. Sometimes there's buffering, sometimes, people's internet's not always the most cooperative thing.
And sometimes the commentators curse the runners.
Switch the audio over to Chaos Legion.
Hey, we got some football action going on down there. And looks like Zero Planes is gonna post up the second time.
So big question is going to be, is there any possible way to avoid those P-switches for halftime? I don't think there is, but boy, if somebody found a way.
Yeah, I think it's like an off-screen thwomp, something like that. Or no, it's right.
No, you're
underneath
landing
the
on him
pipe.
out of the pipe. I just don't think there's enough
Oh,
space.
there it is.
There's
Chaos
the
Legion.
skip.
ASCII shall receive. Skipping right over that mushroom too.
I don't even think the mushroom actually helps you.
It appears
The
not.
bigger sprite, I think, hurts.
That's
So
a 124 from Germ Dove.
I've often said that I think the first 5 minutes you're really exploring a level to find optimizations and then executing. On this one, honestly, you might spend 10 minutes looking for little optimizations like that. When am I going to damage boost? When do I need the extra shell? When do I need to skip it?
There's also like 6 or 7 different, it's 6 or 7 different places where you have to make that call too.
Yeah, and if you have to choose between faster here or faster there, then you got to figure out which faster is going to actually gain you the most.
Which faster is faster? Or I guess which faster is fastest? But definitely you're gonna want to grab a shell to get past that halftime show. I know whenever the halftime comes, I'm always going to the other room, getting a drink.
Yeah, but this is a great case of seeing how different runners are approaching the same problem. I don't think between the 4 we see on stream, we've seen any of them do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, that would be boring.
And that's always interesting on an optimization level when you get to see different strats used. That's going to be a reset for Germ Dev.
Yeah, great minds think alike, creative minds think in all sorts of directions.
And even if somebody hasn't picked up on a strat at this point, they might come around to it after a few playthroughs, realizing they may be able to pick up some time. Maybe they see somebody's got 5 seconds lower on the world record than they've got, and they say, huh, well, I need to figure out something different. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to avoid those P-switches, but using the shell to get past the blocks helps.
Big brain play right there.
Chaos is skipping having a damage boost coming into here, which means he needs the new Shelmet there. He's making it work.
Yeah, not interested in the protection. Oh, hits that spike top. Unfortunate death.
Tackle for a loss of 5 on the play.
I think it's more than 5 yards. All the way back to start.
That's just the penalty for un-Goomba-like conduct.
Well, do you expect a spike top to behave like a Goomba?
If he's gonna compete in the arena of Galoombas, he better act like a Galoomba.
I can't argue with that logic.
It'd make your head hurt.
Among other things.
As we stand, we've got Owlglass having put up 120. Germduff has a 124. Don't really have a lot of other reported times that are under a 130 right now. But here we are 10 minutes in, so a full run taking you a minute and a half, probably minute 40, because you also have to figure in screen transitions. You've really only got about 3 full runs left.
Now for this football part, I think it might be smart just to kind of chuck that shell and let it clear the way. Turn it into a game of bowling rather than football.
This is also a case where they're picking up the checkpoint just because it's faster than it is to try and skip it there.
Yeah, you lose more time avoiding it than you do picking it up. Oh, Chaos tried to thread that shell between the wall and the Koopa, but lands on his head.
Zero has adjusted strats here. He wasn't taking the damage boost off the Munchers before on the golf section. Now he started doing that.
I noticed Germdove is not does not have the strat to skip the halftime show. I haven't noticed if Owlglass has come to that conclusion.
Dobbs has got a 144 on the board now. Zero Planes has a 141, so this one's really shaking things up so far. See how it goes down to the wire. They could maybe get 2 runs in now because they'd start the second one in time. And it's one of those things you have to be mindful of. If you're gonna, say, do a reset strat, you gotta do it pretty quickly to make sure you start the last part in time.
Interesting question in chat. Is Zero the only one skipping that first section in golf? It does appear so.
No, but he's the only one who did that strat. He did the damage boost to get the key.
Yep.
I hadn't seen that out of anyone before. But that means you come in here without the extra shell to flip these blocks, and I think that's the biggest time save in the level.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, obviously the biggest time save is doing everything first try, but as far as an optimization strat, Chad asks, are the scores somewhere? In terms of the times on these rounds, they're being updated in the Discord, which anyone can view those times being put up, but we're just specifically commenting on them when there's noteworthy improvement.
And in terms of overall score for this round, it was Chaos Legion and Dobbs tied for first.
And there's a clear for Zero Planes. Has enough time for another run and possibly to start another one after that. But that's going to be a stretch. I think just one full run. Took a strike there, and that's early enough you could do the restart, but there's just not much time left, so you're probably on your last run if you don't reset very quickly. Like there, Germdove already knows that time can't matter, so I was curious that he didn't restart faster. Just about a minute left, so they still have time to get this run started. Hourglass on to FIFA. Boy, it just feels like there's a big advantage whenever you can carry the extra shell in instead of having to wait on it to spawn from the pipe. Zero Planes went for a bolt, the bolt strat there, trying to damage boost to get the key, but not to be that time.
But I missed this run. Zero Planes apparently putting up a time of 119.
Alright, so that's going to be time.
Yeah, and Zero Planes will take the victory for that round. Zero Planes with the time of 119.933. Owlglass with the time of 120.033. Germdove with the time of 124.816. And then Dobbs with the time of 144 even. And Chaos Legion taking up the rear with a final time of 1 minute 51 seconds. And yes, if they were to start 1 second before the timer ends, they are allowed to finish. But just another break here as the adrenaline cools down for these racers. They prepare for the next level. And after that round, Dobbs has taken the lead, followed by Chaos Legion and then Owlglass. Or sorry, no.
Yeah, give me a chance to finish putting them in, and then it'll be a little more accurate.
It's changing right before my eyes.
It'll do that. That's literally the whole point of the spreadsheet, is that it updates as soon as you put stuff in.
Hey, hey, it's magic.
Or like algorithms and formulas.
Hey, hey, it's algorithms.
There we go.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah.
so far out of part 2, it's Owlglass and Dobbs who have the best performance, followed by Zero Planes, then Germdove, and Chaos Legion. That's for that part. As far as the overall, it's Owlglass and Dobbs putting up the best performances overall so far. A lot can change.
Yep, a whole 15 minutes of Endless Expert is going to be after this this optimization level. So one final round, one final level of this round. So yeah, probably about 25 minutes left of this this weekly race.
More like 35.
35 minutes left of this weekly race.
See, I told you, don't do Math Live on Twitch. I keep trying to warn people. Dead End Underground is going to be our third and final level for the optimization. Bob McName, a veteran maker for these weeklies.
Yeah, our racer's getting the countdown. We should be off and going in just a second.
So this was the 3D world level. Very spooky. We don't have the ghost vac from Luigi Mansion 3.
It's pronounced spoopy. Pretty sure anyway.
I don't know, I just know we could use a Goo Luigi for this level. He can damage
Ooh,
boost to get the coins for us.
that would be a fun skin to have.
Yeah, we need costumes.
Yes, I was very saddened at the death of Jumpu Girl.
Away we go! I mean, you just know he would have used Shampoo Girl for this level, right? Like, we're not even questioning that, are we?
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't use Jumpu Girl for any SMB1 level.
Alright, so Zero Planes is trying this by going in the reverse way first. Let's see if he makes it work. Runs into the booze that time. So this is interesting. Depending on how you use this, you could apparently make an infinite checkpoint system out of this. That's not so much helpful in this phase, but it is interesting.
It'll be interesting to see how they optimize all these different rooms. Similar to the last level with all those different sports challenges, each room will have its own optimization, and there might be a couple different ways to do that. But this does seem a little more straightforward than the last level.
You know, there's a lot of this timing with the booze, and it'd be such a difference if there's power-ups that we haven't seen in this level, because we've seen it with no power-ups so far. And I just don't know that we've seen enough to conclude definitively that there are no power-ups.
Oh, there can always be a hidden star somewhere.
I'm not saying somebody would be banned for putting a dev star in their level, but I am saying it would never win the people's vote.
And no, not a dev star, but maybe a required star.
So that one question block that we're going to see on Chaos Legion here looms large to me. Alright, level makers in chat, and Bob McName confirms for us there is a mushroom at the start of the level, but that's the only one. That could be very interesting, how you use that.
If these runners even know it's there. Well, Hourglass reaching that flagpole. Close enough that time.
Be our first one of this round so far. A 44 and a 39 world record tells you there's quite a bit to go.
Yep, I suspect quite a bit more of dying to these boos as well.
It's inevitable. You're trying to get the movement as tight as you can, which means it's going to be as high risk as you can get away with. So using these warp blocks as an extra means of moving through the level, by doing that, he's made it where there's more possible paths and routes through it versus, say, your traditional red coin setup where you've got to go back to a main hub so that you only use one entrance up. I'm not sure I'm saying that well, but basically you get more entrances available to you in 3D World.
Interesting info.
It's like you've got the limit of warp pipes and doors, but in 3D World you're adding the warp blocks as well, so it's just that extra piece to the puzzle as Hourglass puts up a new world record. So Bob McName has used that instead of there being a very linear path through this level, there's more, if you will, of a choose your own adventure type feel.
And unfortunately, this time, chat, we don't get to help out.
Well, that wouldn't be the runners choosing their own adventure then. Coin number 4 for Germ Dove. Looks to be the deepest run anyone is on so far. I think he was trying to ground pound. No, he wasn't trying to ground pound the dry bones. He was taking it up. Chat says more like choose your own optimization. I agree.
That is the name of the game.
Alright, here's a key run for Hourglass. Have we seen anybody actually run over to the right and see if the pipes are required?
I hope so.
I mean, it's just one of those things you assume. Especially
Yeah.
when the world record is what it is.
It's
But it's like,
possible that could have
until I
been
know what's
overlooked.
over there, I want to know what's over there.
So you were the type of kid who stuck something in the electrical socket?
No.
Okay. At least you learned that one without actually having to learn it yourself.
But I am the type who, in playing co-op online, if everybody's going into a pipe, I'll run to the right. If everybody runs to the right, I'll go in the pipe. I'll do the opposite of what everybody else is doing just to explore the level.
Ah, the George Costanza strats. George used to sit in that diner and get tuna on toast. He's got to switch it up. You got to get the opposite, chicken salad on what was it, rye?
Got a key for Chaos Legion now. Should be our next completed run. Okay, he is gonna explore. And it's a high mountain to nowhere. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, unlike Ozzy Osbourne, you can't go over that mountain.
It's just something you've got to explore. Especially the further off you are of a world record time, the more you want to explore the level and see if there's maybe another little piece they're not getting. Oh, I bet the mushroom's in the tree. Because this is 3D World.
Yep.
And I say that because the level maker has told us there is a mushroom at the start of the level. Well, that would be at the start of the level. That tree's just standing there.
I guess mushrooms grow on tree in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Makes as much sense as anything else.
I guess that's right. Yeah.
0 planes with a finish. That's a 52.
Plenty of work to be done.
Yeah, we're only 8 minutes in.
Germ Dove also finishing up a run here. Unfortunately, misses the jump and is going to swim over the flagpole.
Well, hey, if it works, it works.
Probably doesn't work faster.
No, but you also want to get some completion times up there.
Yep. Chaos Legion also right behind him. No world records, but some good times. Chaos Legion with a 38 there.
And it's not that you're ever assuming that the world record is optimized, but it's a trend, basically, that you can judge yourself against. The closer you are to that, probably the better you're doing in the level.
Oh wow! Off stream, Dobbs posting a time of 35.595. So that's gonna be the time to beat for a little bit here.
Also, Chad, don't forget to vote on your favorite level of the day. It could be one of these we featured. It could be one of the ones we didn't feature. Just vote for whatever one you like the best. I'm gonna see about getting Dobbs in here. Give me just a moment.
Hourglass just posting a time of their own. Not besting their PB though. And Zero Planes making a finish of their own.
As we welcome Dobbs to the restream. Back into the restream, I should say. It'll start playing any moment now. I promise.
Yeah, I assume it's the players just syncing with the other racers here. Guessing it's on 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. See, I can do math on stream.
It's a countdown, not math. It's different.
Well, no, I had to do the countdown, right? Because Dobbs is counting down his time. Chaos Legion and Zero Planes are counting up their time. There was a little math involved.
Well, it doesn't take any math to figure out that that was said world record, because it said it. So Dobbs with the best time so far. And there's a key for Hourglass. So, you know, I feel like if you had a mushroom, you could pick up time in one room. I'm just not sure which room would be the best if you had it.
And it looks like Dobbs is not aware of that mushroom, and if he is, he's not using that strat.
No, I did just think it's a case of it's 3D world, so it's maybe not as obvious climb the tree, which I don't even know that it's in the tree. It just looks like a likely candidate because I'm looking for something like that.
Yeah, it would be a pretty good rule to have moving forward in these weekly. Check the trees.
Well, I mean, at this point, you're not changing strats. You're trying to optimize your strat that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the kind of thing you look for in the first 5 minutes of these. I mean, at this point, you could maybe start another run. You couldn't make 2 full runs at this point. And there's a finish for Zero Planes. What do we got? A 42-7. This is, I won't say last run for everyone. I think this is going to be the last one for Zero Planes.
Yep, absolutely. Running out of time. I think it's Dobbs to lose.
Right, Zero Planes did restart, which you'd be able to do that early, but I think this is going to be the last. Anyone starting now, they're obviously going to be on their last. If you're finishing like Dobbs here, he's got time enough to start a new one. A 35 for Chaos Legion is a really good time. And a Dobbs finish is going to be a 34. Just a little bit slower than his world record. So Dobbs has found the best strats through here so far. That's how much he did. That's how tight it is. He didn't like his first jump. He starts over.
Hourglass with key in hand.
Because his is counting down, we can see pretty easily how much time is left. That'd be tight. He may be able to get another one started.
34.9.
Yeah, he had just enough time. With the loading now, you couldn't start another one. That's going to be time, so Chaos Legion's going to be finished. And everybody else, when their run is finished. So Zero Plane's done as well.
So Zero Planes with a final time of 42.730. Chaos Legion with a final time of 35.111. Germdove Offstream with a final time of 37.427. And Dobbs Wow finishing up with a world record 33.978. Hourglass final time at 34.990. Get your GGs in chat as we prepare to move on to the third and final round, the Endless Expert round. They'll be launching up Endless Expert. Don't mind if they have a couple hundred clears, a couple thousand clears. It's how many clears they can get on stream. They can game over. They can restart whenever. It's just get as many clears as you can.
Right, so as far as part 2 goes, it was Dobbs with the win, Hourglass with the place, and Chaos Legion with the show. Then Zero Planes and Germdove tied for 4th. Overall, that's going to give us... I have to blow this up so I can read the whole thing. Dobbs with the lead going into part 3, Chaos Legion just behind. 1 place difference. So what I mean by that is if Dobbs, reverse that, Dobbs has the lead. If Dobbs finishes 2nd, Chaos Legion finishes 1st, they would tie. If Chaos Legion finishes 1st and Dobbs 3rd, Chaos Legion would win. So it's just 1 point between them. Just 1 point behind for 2nd place is Hourglass in 3rd. And then it's 3 for Germdove, so would need a good bit of help to be able to come up for the win.
Yeah, so very close race amongst our top 3. Chaos Legion, Hourglass, and Dobbs. But make sure if you haven't already, give these racers a follow. Without them racing these races, we wouldn't have these races to watch being raced.
So this is a really fun fact I want to bring out. They had a post-race discussion on that level. Dobbs made a physical map of the level so that he could optimize it. So he knew which exit and which room he was going to.
That could become the new meta.
Well, it has to be the right kind of level to do that in, and that was the right kind of level.
Yeah, definitely not going to be doing that every level.
So also with Germdove being our top 4, let me see about getting him back in here. Do always try and make sure we get the top 4 in for the last challenge. Also, make sure that you have voted for your favorite level today. I'll check where that stands at the moment. And it's a runaway for the sports mix right now. I did say I thought that one was going to be the people's choice.
You did indeed. You did call that. As there we go. These racers are ripping and raring.
Yeah, so runners have their choice of what to do. The only thing is clear as many levels as you can. So they can do it off of a continued run. We don't make them give up a run. Or they can start from a fresh one if they want to. It looks like that's what Germ Dove is doing, starting fresh. But the biggest difference is having those lives in the bank. Because even though you can start a new game if you game over, it helps to just be able to keep playing and not have to worry about the life count. Hope everybody is having a good Saturday afternoon as we're enjoying some Mario Maker.
Yeah, I know I am. This has been a blast. We've seen some awesome platforming from these racers so far, and we have the most exciting round left, the Endless Expert.
So anything can happen and will.
Yes, trolls, moles, flagpoles.
Super expert levels that shouldn't be an expert, but they somehow got down there anyways. Easy levels that for some reason people died a bunch too, and somehow they found their way into expert.
Well, you know, one of those streamers posting a video on a super challenging level, and everybody just wants to clear it themselves.
Yeah, so what you'll see a lot of in this phase is runners pause and check the world record. So it tells them, one, whether or not the level's been cleared or not. Two, if you see one that's 4 minutes, you're going to say, let me invest my time somewhere else. I generally advise what I call a 2-minute rule, which is between skipping levels and actually playing one. You probably got to budget like 2 minutes for a clear. So if you spent more than that on a level, you've probably spent too much time and just need to move on.
Probably a pretty good rule to have. Let's see which of these racers follows it.
Yeah, that would also give you, in theory, 10 clears if everything worked out perfectly, which it never does. But somewhere in the 6 to 8 range is historically a pretty good number for this. And we will see them get to it soon. Again, we've got Germ Dove and Owlglass with only the 15 lives. Also, a noteworthy change from the last round is when the timer is up, it is up regardless of where you are. So it looks like we got the New Soup speedrun style level for Chaos Legion, and he's having a little trouble with it.
Not exactly intuitive to go back into that pipe there. Meanwhile, below him,
direction it's throwing you in.
Germ Dove has an enemy level spam with the Starman. Just has to get over this wall.
Probably in case he needs a triple jump.
It looks like he's going back for a power-up.
And Dobbs is going to get her first on stream clear with that SMB1 level.
Dobbs.1.
Alright. So the speedrun levels have the advantage of historically short timers, so it's usually pretty quick to clear them as long as you're comfortable doing everything that's involved. And it looks like Chaos Legion maybe just doesn't have the rhythm of the New Soup speedrun level. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to play to your strengths.
Well, absolutely.
Oh, that level maker. At first, it looked like Germ needed to wait on the bully on the start of run out so he could use the bully to jump. But then he found the hidden blocks.
And finds the flagpole.
Got Dobbs with not a puzzle level, but yeah, a one-screen challenge level, I guess we could call it. It is a tight timer. So this is one it's fair to try a few times because it's so short. But given how short it is, it looks like you need to first or second try everything.
Yeah, definitely not a whole lot of time to play with.
Some good recovery there for Chaos Legion. Figured out that the spiky helmet was needed, so he killed it, got a new one, but opted out of the level anyways. Can't reach the red coins there. Gotta use the spring for Hourglass to get the red coins. That's, well, I guess if it doesn't troll you, then there's a sense in going for it, but that doesn't feel like a good one.
Yeah, if it doesn't troll you, it's not gonna necessarily make you stronger. But Germdove finishing up clear number 2. Zero Planes off stream also with 2 clears.
Yeah, now Dobbs has invested several lives in trying to clear this level, and this is where I'm starting to think we went from a short level that it made sense to try a couple times to investing too much time. And Dobbs on the same wavelength on me on that one there. That really felt like it was kind of the limit.
And meanwhile, Chaos Legion has found a Blowy Joey level. Climbing up, up, up.
Hourglass with a clear on that SMB 3 level. A first clear, in fact. That's one of the toughest things when you get in there and there's no information on the world record. You want as much information as you can get. Got a 3D world lever for Hourglass. I tried to troll him. The laughing effect makes me nervous. You've seen it attempt to troll you once, and they use the laughing effect, which is very troubling. And then you have a non-obvious path there. I think this is I think I would move on.
Dobbs there clearing another level, getting a world record. Germdove also with another clear.
Oh, there was a warp there I did not see, so that's the difference. Going through the lava, apparently, through this invisible pipe, clear pipe.
I was gonna say, what is going on?
So these are strung together so that you're able to continuously move. And it makes you nervous that at any given time it's going to dump you into a troll, but I didn't see any other path through this level. And it just feels very unfortunate because 1, you know this is slower than your normal movement, and 2, you cannot get out of it. You are stuck in there till it drops you somewhere. Yeah, I'd move on.
Germdove skipping a versus auto scroller definitely looks pretty slow.
You know, auto scrollers are something that can feel slower than they are, and it's a case-by-case basis. You don't want to skip something just because it's an auto scroll, but it's a pretty bad sign.
Ooh, Germdove finding an interesting level. It has to do a mid-air spring jump. Or not a spring jump, a P-switch jump.
Now you have to hold the P-switch, so probably have to grab it with Yoshi, spit it out, ditch the Yoshi, and then grab it from the other side of the flagpole would be my guess.
Interesting.
It's new soup, so you get to slow fall.
Or he can just
saved
skip
the
it.
Yoshi. Perfect.
Much smarter
That
strat.
worked.
Clear number 4 for Germdove, taking the lead.
Another clear for Hourglass, too, on a Super Mario World level.
And just as I said that, Zero Plane's off stream, tying it up. 4 clears.
Chat pointing out Germdove didn't pick up the 1-ups, and yeah, he started a fresh run, so it's a big difference. I mean, at this point, the earlier the better for picking up 1-ups. The later you get in a run, the less it matters. But you never know when something's going to be a short level where you want to invest 20 lives in, if that's what it takes, because it's only a 10-second level.
Yeah, and that if that's the case, it makes more sense to have, 70 lives like we saw Chaos and Dobbs start with.
So it looks like Chaos Legion has to get Bowser to stand under the thwomp here to get the key. This is, that's a thing.
Yep. Also a thing,
Very much a thing.
Germdove taking back the lead. 5 clears now to his name.
Dobbs found a section that was just dedicated to killing Yoshi with the on-off switch, and he killed him. You shameless Yoshi killer.
I mean, if you gotta kill a Yoshi to get a clear, I don't see anything wrong with that.
It didn't help you get the clear. It was just to kill the Yoshi.
Oh, well, then
Oh, hey,
in
there was
that
a fire
case-
flower there. I don't know where that came from, but let Chaos Legion kill the Bowser. And got the bridge with the thwomp section.
It's an interesting way to end a level. We all know how much these racers love waiting.
Well, it's Mario Maker. If there's one thing people love, it's waiting. That Poison Mushroom sniped Hourglass, and he's going to move on to something else. Yeah, this is another thing I didn't think of, but there is an advantage to being low in standings on your clears, which is Chaos Legion just had to wait for the extra notification about his global rank updating.
That's funny.
So it ends up being slightly slower. Gooba is key and Munchers are death. Isn't that the way it goes?
I think I'd still rather have a cushion of lives as opposed to waiting for the record to update. I don't know though. It's a tough call.
It's probably a case if you were going to try and optimize it, you'd have a different profile for doing these that had some lives built up.
Yeah. Germdove there with a world record and taking the lead back. 6 clears.
Just as you say that, Zero Planes comes right in and puts up another 6.
Yep, they're
Remember
ping-ponging
when
back
I
and
said
forth.
6 to 8 was a pretty good score in this, and we're already at 6 with 10 minutes left?
Yeah, 4.5 minutes to go.
No, 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You said it right.
Telling you, math while I'm on Twitch.
I may learn eventually.
I just try and warn the people of the dangers. Nice job there by Chaos Legion. Figures out the answer and sets the B-switch, gets the jump, and up to the clear.
Yeah, unfortunately, fallen a bit behind. That was just their second clear. But you never know. You might find those like super easy levels with just like 1 clear. And, you can put down 3 clears in just a handful of minutes.
Dobbs has got a pretty slow-moving Super Mario World level here. Has lost his cape already in short order.
Yeah, it looks like a very challenging castle level. Definitely worthy of
Multiple paths
Bowser,
here.
and definitely worthy of a Bowser Jr. fight, perhaps at the end. And Zero Planes off stream taking the lead, 7 clears to their name.
Looks like that's ride the skull platforms through the skewers, but you've got to get the timing right or else you're going to get squished. On Germ Dove's side, he's decided to give that level another try.
Yeah, first section, just some pretty interesting platforming there, not too challenging.
Kind of a preview section underneath. This time Germ Dove's gonna wait for the skewers, then do the skull platforms, but he only does one, but one is all you need.
And Zero Planes off stream getting another clear.
I kind of feel like he's come back at this one for some vengeance. The last week, his clear count wasn't what he was aiming for at all. I don't think he's mathematically able to get the win at this point, but he could still improve his position substantially based on the finish order here.
Yep, and this is just practice for next week.
Everything is practice, except for getting trolled. That's nothing.
Oh, sometimes it helps to get trolled, then you can spot the trolls a little easier the next time.
We got Owlglass with another clear on that SMW castle.
I think the best trolls are the kind of the reverse trolls where you're given 2 options. It looks like there's an obvious, oh, if I go up, I'm going to get soft locked. So I'm going to go down, but really you go up. You know what I'm saying?
Another clear for Chaos Legion off that Mario 3 level, and this looks like a remake. Owlglass looks like it's on a remake of SMW, not SMW, SMB3, the first Fortress.
Yeah, you're right. A little creative license there on those disco balls.
That's a fairly common thing you see in Mario Maker is people do remakes of classic levels from the earlier Mario games. Most famous, I suppose, now being 1-1 with a Twist. I think everybody has seen that level, if not played it.
Or several.
Well, yes, as soon as somebody makes something like that, it's going to get ripped off 80 times, minimum. Even the whole idea of doing 1-1 remakes is, if you will, a borrowed concept.
Yeah, kind of in the tutorial there of Mario Maker 1.
There was the one that made one of those internet video 10 lists for like most creative levels, and it was something like Goomba Factory for Mario Maker 1. That was a fun level.
Yep, still plenty of uncleared levels there if you want to boot up your Wii U.
Yeah, mine's not far away right now, actually. 1 red coin to get for Germ Dove. Has it. There's no way to kill that Bowser, so apparently not required. He was just an obstacle, and Germ Dove has the clear. So you probably got enough time for 1 to 2 more levels. If you're really good on them.
And Germ Dove sitting on 7 clears, Owlglass on 5, Chaos Legion on 4, with Zero Planes off stream in the lead. Looks like Dobbs hasn't cleared a level in quite some time, unfortunately.
Well, it's a big part of the challenge of this is how you budget your time. Looks like Chaos Legion has got another new soup style speed run, but actually not really. There's plenty of time left on that timer. It's the style without the tight timer. But it's another clear. In Germ Dove, looks like you got to do a precision jump there.
Yeah, very precise. And Dobbs is at the end of this level, just has to get the clear
Doesn't
condition.
have a coin. There's a coin he apparently didn't see because he opts out of the level.
Yeah, missing coin feels bad, man.
So this is a case where if Germ Dove had this level early, I would say get out of it and don't spend your lives and time here. Where we are, I think you spend all your time trying to finish this one because it's one jump to get you a clear and you're not getting to another one in 20 seconds. So, oh no, he got the game over. That's
Ooh, very
unfortunate.
nice jump from Dobbs, making it in that one tile gap. Up to 4 clears.
Okay, I'm sorry, we don't have 20 seconds left. We have 2 minutes, but still. Yeah, you almost have to first try a level at this point, depending on the level. Because even if it's, say, a 20-second speed run, that's actually more like 40 seconds per attempt. Because of all the screen loading times. That's a lot of Bowsers and Boom Booms for Dobbs.
So we've been doing these weekly races for a couple months now. Is there a record for this round of expert?
Oh, there is. I just don't have it in a handy place right now. If you'd asked me that
Aw.
before we started, I could have looked it up. Dobbs gets the 3 1-ups. He's got a minute left, potentially enough time to get through another level, depending on the level. It's got to be a quick timer level, though. If you get in there and it's a 2-minute clear, then you're better off skipping. And even still, you know, like I said, for 40 seconds left, that's about enough time for a 20-second level. So if you don't get it, you're probably not getting another clear.
30 seconds left.
This is probably it for everybody, so make your best attempt to get to the goal. Germ Dev clears the Bowser. He's gonna YOLO. Right idea, but can he get over the springs? No! So close. If he had slow falled, he probably would have seen that and gotten the axe. And that's gonna be time.
Yep, and Zero Planes off stream with a impressive 10 total clear count. Germ Dove in second place with 7. Dobbs and Chaos Legion tying at 4 apiece. Owlglass with 5.
Let's give this a minute. All right. Runners have been invited if they want to come in and join us, so we'll see who takes that opportunity.
Yep, and what a race. What are our final scores?
I haven't gotten that far. I'm working on the runners first.
My apologies. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Chaos Legion and Dobbs, who were a point piece before going into that, actually kind of at the bottom of the pack there. So it'll be interesting to see how these final scores work their way.
Dobbs next. He had 4. And then that just leaves Germ Dove, which was 7. Alright, so that was pretty much optimized for maximum chaos. But as I've got it, it looks like that was just enough for Dobbs to take the lead by 1 point. Now, when I say that, and oh, by the way, we had a tie for second between Chaos Legion and Owlglass. If one of them, if Chaos Legion had completed one more level, he would have at least tied for the win. So real close between them. All right. Well, it looks like the invite worked for Zero Planes at least.
Hey. Oh, oops.
I'm going to work on the others, but Zero, your first reactions to any part you choose.
I really like the sport ball mode. I didn't quite pull off the time that I wanted. That was probably the only of the first 2 rounds that I felt like I actually did well on. There's one piece of tech I didn't quite pull off. I was trying to jump into that spike path and then go back and take the shell with me, but the one time I was able to jump in there, I put the shellmet back on and didn't quite work.
Yeah, that was a really interesting level. Really coherent theme, and definitely challenging. One really big piece of optimization we saw from Chaos Legion is grabbing a shell and hitting the block at the halftime show. Was able to skip that P-switch timer.
All right, I've missed somebody, and I'm trying to figure out who I missed. So give me a moment here. Zero, it seems like you really came back with a vengeance on the endless count. And
Yeah.
last week not being kind of the results you wanted, this week you showed it who's boss.
So last week I actually got 11 clears. This week was 10.
Okay, maybe I'm off by a week. What do I know?
The week before I got 4. So
there we go.
I definitely coming back from that one. I actually got most of my clears in the first like 10 minutes or so, and then things kind of fell apart towards the end. I think I got a little too excited, like, oh, I can PB again, I can get 12, and then I just started committing to some levels that didn't pay off and trying for levels that are a little more difficult than I should have been skipping. But still, I was really happy with that.
All right, let me ask if you have any final thoughts, and then we'll work our way through the other runners and let you go.
Well, thanks guys so much. It's always a blast playing with you. Looking forward to next week.
With that, let's move on to Dobbs joining us now, and GG to you, because according to the spreadsheet, you are our winner this week.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. It was a great race, so GG to everybody.
The endless count of 4. What's going through your mind when you know roughly where you are on that?
I just kept going through levels. I kept thinking I was seeing a good level, and then it would troll me right at the end. It was that was all time my worst endless run for these weekly. It was I was getting pretty worried about my place going to dead last.
Well, you held on by 1 point, and that ends up being a tie between Chaos Legion and Owlglass.
Yep, we meet again.
For the very first time this week. Owlglass, let's start with you. What were your standout moments this week?
Honestly, not really much. I feel like I played not that great. well, there were a few things, but nothing spectacular really.
Germ Dove, how about what was your favorite level this week?
Oh, the sports mix. There was some really cool cheese that you could do on it, and it was a pretty fun level overall, I thought. My particular low light, though, was on the Piranha Plant level, mostly just because I was failing the very first jump over and over and over again, and I'm very glad it wasn't on stream.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
we
that
try and
was a
rotate throughout.
sorry.
Go ahead.
It was a very difficult first jump, to be fair. Like, I suffered on it as well.
All right, we'll give Chad a chance to get their vote in still for their final favorite. Also, just in case anybody didn't see it in chat, there's your link to it that you can get your vote in.
And the winner gets $20. Yoo-hoo!
That's currently standing with the sports mix. That was what I figured. So we had to go to a backup level with the Flipped Frenzy 1-1. Anybody want to chime in on the challenges of picking up what the level maker is trying to tell you?
I think I just kept figuring out the right path just 5 seconds after I couldn't take it anymore. Just jumping down into a chasm and realizing, oops, now I have to redo that whole section.
Yeah, especially with the Shalma out of the pipe. Like, it was there, but not from the pipe, and I was so confused. And dang it.
I felt pretty good about the direction of the level. It was just executing on it that gave me a hard time.
All right. Well, before we go on to what our winning level was this week, let's start with Chaos Legion. And any final thoughts on this one?
Well, a lot of the levels that I got were just really confusing, both when it came to Endless and the levels that were chosen. Like, I was very confused with the Dead End and Mario Flip. I did understand what they wanted me to do rather quickly, but even then I was like, okay, where does this door lead again? And I was just like, nope. And the Mario Sports, mainly because I'm not a sports guy, and I've played a handful of them already, since they're pretty common in Mario Maker, and I found that level pretty boring. But the Piranha Plant Plateau was by far my favorite one. It was difficult, it was challenging, you know, it tested your skill, and a lot of the other ones were just, how much can you memorize before you die, and then try again.
Well, as we transition over to Dobbs, you didn't quite memorize things on the SMW level, so why don't you throw that in as part of your thoughts?
Oh, do you mean Bob McName's Underground?
Yes.
Yeah, so when I saw that level in phase 1, I immediately realized that I had no idea where I was going, and made a mental note that if I saw it in phase 2, I was going to physically draw out a map of the level, and I did. So if I was on the restream for that, you would have seen me entering a room, pausing for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then going to another room for the first half of that section. But I guess it paid off.
Absolutely, apparently did. Might just become the new meta for certain kinds of levels.
Germ Dove, if you're with us, you put up a very compelling endless count. Getting 7 clears was the second best for that phase.
I did, but I was very frustrated that I threw away the clear right at the end, and the one when I lost all my lives. It was a very precise jump that I just wasn't able to hit there.
Oh, the do you mean Bob McName's Underground?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bob McName's Underground. Yeah.
Yeah, so I when I saw that level in phase 1, I immediately realized that I had no idea where I was going, and made a mental note that if I saw it in phase 2, I was going to physically draw out a map of the level, and I did. So if I was on the restream for that, you would have seen me entering a room, pausing for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then going to another room for the first half of that section.
I
All right. Any final thoughts on this week?
No, I think I'm all tapped out.
Fair enough. Owlglass with the tie for second. Anything else you want to chime in about this week?
All the levels were pretty good, but I kind of agree with Chaos that the Piranha Plant was probably the most skilled and fun one. Like in terms of level playing, all the rest was very straightforward. But the right to left was probably one of my favorites for this week. Even though I didn't vote on it, but it was probably one of my favorites because it was so fun and optimizable. Just that the wind was a bit but that was pretty fun. But I'm hoping to see more leaning towards expert, super expert, than because I feel like it's going to a more normal type of levels lately. That's about it.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, Elglad.
I think we just need some more level creators, some more racers to increase the caliber of both levels and the racers racing. So
True.
get out there, spread the word. Thanks to everybody for racing. It's been a blast.
For sure, it's definitely a lot of fun, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Speaking of outcomes, I will refresh one more time just to be sure we are accurate on this. And you, the viewers, have chosen as your favorite level this week Mario's Sports Mix, followed by Piranha Plant Plateau. Those are two favorites of the week.
GG to the winners.
Yep, GG to the winners, the racers. And before we go, I'd like to just go over the what's going on over at the Speed Gaming Prime channel. We have the SNES Superstars Marathon. Right now, we got the Super Metroid Zelda 3 combo rando going on. Following that, we have Kid Cleats, then Super Ninja Kun, Airstrike Patrol, Chrono Trigger. That's the last game on the docket for Saturday. But of course, we're going 10 days straight, all the way up until technically Monday morning. We have a whole weekend of great SNES games going on over there. And then, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Zelda 1 Rando Weekly tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Lots of fun going on Speed Gaming. Hope you're following all the channels. If not, great time to fix that. And thank you to everybody who has joined us this afternoon. Hope you all had as much fun as I did. August, take us home.
That's all, folks.